Enemies might need a reality check when it comes to his protection. I mean, come on. They're dealing with a man whose personal security is the stuff of legends. Because deep in the Kremlin, Putin has escape routes that make your average hideout look like child's play. We're talking helipads and literal metro systems, the kind of stuff you see in action movies. First up, the helipad. To dodge the chaos caused by those pesky motorcades, Putin decided to green-light the construction of a helipad right in the heart of the Kremlin. Completed in May 2013, this isn't just any helipad, it's the VIP landing spot for Putin's Mi-8 helicopter. Seriously, forget all about any threats in rush hour traffic, because Putin's soaring above it all. And don't think for a second that he chose the helipad location lightly. Of course not. Careful consideration went into making sure it didn't mess with the Kremlin's architectural vibes. Anyway, this isn't even half of it, because the truth is, Putin takes his escape game to a whole new level. You thought the helipad was impressive? Well, buckle up, because he's got a plan B, and it involves the Moscow metro. Yes, you heard it right. The very same metro system that millions of regular commuters use. Now, the Moscow metro isn't just your average underground commute. It's a sprawling network serving Moscow and its neighboring cities. It's been chugging along since 1935, making it the Soviet Union's first underground railway system. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a second, deeper metro system lurking beneath the surface, codenamed D6. Why? Well, it's not for your everyday rush hour. It's supposedly designed for the emergency evacuation of key personnel in case of a nuclear attack. Picture a secret underground railway connecting the Kremlin, General Staff HQ, FSB headquarters, the Ministry of Defense, and a bunch of other hush-hush installations, and you'll understand what I mean. It's kinda like a James Bond movie unfolding beneath the streets of Moscow, don't you think? And Putin is smack in the middle of it. Now here's the kicker. The alleged entrances to this secret system exist in civilian buildings like the Russian State Library and Moscow State University. Yep, your typical library or university might have a secret entrance to a Cold War-era escape tunnel. But where's the junction between the secret system and the regular metro? Supposedly, it's lurking behind the Sportivnaya station on the Sokolnicheskaya line. It's like a secret escape hatch reserved for the elite military personnel, and rumor has it, a select few civilians chosen randomly for evacuation. So you better believe it when Putin talks about being prepared for anything. He's not just talking about a well-stocked pantry. He's got a whole underground city waiting to whisk him away if disaster strikes. So now that we've checked off a literal helipad and a metro network, it's time to talk about Putin's notorious armored train that quickly and covertly takes him all over Russia. According to many reports, Putin owns a luxurious 22-car ghost train that's the epitome of opulence and secrecy. But first things first, let's talk about the perks. And let me get one thing straight. This train isn't just for getting from point A to point B. It's a full-on mobile fortress of comfort and safety. We're talking a fully equipped gym, a skincare and massage parlor decked out with anti-aging machines, and a Turkish bath steam room that's probably fancier than most spa resorts. And of course, there are lush bedrooms and ornate dining cars for those gourmet meals that Putin probably loves on the move. And of course, dozens of crew members are on call 24/7, waiting in quarantine to ensure Putin's safety from illness while on board. But that's not all. This train is a whole entertainment hub on wheels, including a movie theater where Putin can catch up on the latest blockbusters while traversing the vast Russian landscapes. Interestingly, this armored train isn't a recent acquisition. It was actually commissioned in 2014, but its usage saw a spike during the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Now, I must say that this train is practically a moving fortress. Bulletproof doors and windows, heavy armor. Putin travels in style, and safety is the name of the game. Life-saving medical equipment is on standby, just in case. And here's a fun fact. It's not just about avoiding traffic. The train is heavily armored to avoid radar detection. But why the train over a presidential plane, you must be wondering? Well, it's simple. A plane is too exposed. It's on the radar, literally. The train, on the other hand, can move discreetly on the ground. Amateur train spotters in Russia have long suspected its existence, documenting sightings of a train not listed on any timetables or official railway databases. And as we know by now, this particular train is always hauling a car with a distinctive white dome that contains antennas and satellite nodes that are responsible for keeping Putin in the loop about the outside world at all times. In fact, an entire rail line was reportedly built throughout Russia, connecting Putin's private residences to main rail arteries, with secret stations only accessible to his ghost train to keep the president on the move without a trace. So yeah, when you're Vladimir Putin and you've got the weight of a nation on your shoulders, you build helipads and underground escape routes in the Kremlin. Because in the game of power, you don't leave routes in the Kremlin. Because in the game of power, you don't leave